Well, he shot a 12 under to come from behind and ultimately take the victory. And we couldn't be more happy to have none other than first-time Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite winner, Ezra Robinson. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Great,
awesome.
but
it's great.
Nobody's doing as good as you. Nobody in life, in our entire sport, is probably riding higher and more excited than yourself. Is that a fair statement?
It's gotta be close. Yeah, I think I'm winning in that category for sure.
Did you enjoy for 2 weeks as well? Like for 2 weeks, you're like, hey, I'm on top of the world.
That's true.
Ella, it's exciting, but it's her second. I mean, she's been there, done that.
Whatever.
What does it feel like to have your name finally erased off of that graphic that we keep putting up saying highest rated player that hasn't won? What does it feel like that we get to throw that graphic away?
Oh my goodness, it feels amazing. This has been a weight on my shoulders. Probably I didn't expect much the first year I went on tour, but definitely the second and third, it's been a weight, and I'm feeling a lot lighter right now. So
when you look back, now that you have it in your back pocket, but when you look back to previous events, which one to you was kind of irking you of like, man, I should have walked away the winner there, or that was my closest chance? Which one stands out to you as like, man, that should have been it?
Man, I think the one I wanted the most was Champions Cup last year.
Okay.
Which Fresno won. He played amazing. He definitely deserved it. But I think being in that position to where I think it was just, if I recall, I might be getting this wrong, but it was Fresno, Joey Buckets, me, and somebody else, but like none of like the top guys. Like Gannon wasn't up there. I think, or Nicholas was the fourth one. But like you don't have Macbeth, Ricky, Gannon, Isaac, all of them up there, and so it was like this was like to be the one to get, because and so that one definitely ate me up a little bit, but yeah, and then Beaver State, I missed a 50-footer to push to playoff, I think. So that one too, but yeah, just what AB said last year always stuck with me. He's like, all the losses are worth it now. And I think I said that in another interview that I'm going to copy and paste that statement to what I'm feeling.
I mean, maybe at Champions Cup, if you would have had Ricky and Paul on the card, it would have driven you more, because look what you did when they were on the card with you on Sunday. You shot a course record 12 under. We've clearly never seen anyone play the course like that. What was clicking for you? What type of, what did you have for breakfast, for crying out loud? But or lunch by the time you got out there? You were in the afternoon card.
Yeah, I actually went to Aviation Coffee. Just shout out to Aviation Coffee. So I guess that fueled the victory. No, but I realized I got out there and I was like, okay, the way I think, I'm like, okay, how, like, don't blow it. Like, don't just completely just throw it away. And then I was like, why don't I think about it as like, I know how to play good. I've shot hot rounds before. I know how to play. Why not just have this time be a fantastic round? I was like, I should think about that mindset a little bit more often. So yeah, I switched that up a little bit, and I was like, there's no reason why I can't win. Just go do it.
Yeah, it's felt like in the past we've seen you get so close, and then you've had just like, I don't know if it's unlucky or just nerves or whatever, like a stretch of 2 or 3 holes where you've shot yourself out of the competition. Mm-hmm. And this event, you almost took that out of even play. The way you got up on everyone so quick, there was like 6 holes to go, and everyone's kind of just like, Ezra's just gonna take this. Like he has to really, really screw it up in order to, to do anything, and there was no reason to. You could play it relatively safe. Did that ever cross your mind that you're just going to just stay in the fairway and go, because you seem to still be aggressive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, if I Yeah, no, definitely. I cannot switch up the way I play the course. And if I do, then I'm just getting lazy. I can't take any shot for granted. I can't, you know, like cruise into the finish. I don't want to, because it's just not how I play. And nothing's safe. I mean, you got 16, 17, and 18. We were taking big numbers all weekend. Calvin, right before we got there, took a triple on 17. AB birdies, I triple. That's a stroke or two going into 18, which is not an easy hole itself. So it's like, I knew I could never let up. And it was the same exact feeling. When the Silver Series, the Rochester tournament in 2023, going against Matty O, I just couldn't let it up either, and I ended up shooting like the course record there too. So it was like the same feeling where it's like, if I get lazy, then it's gonna fall apart.
Well, so everything you just said about, having maybe a different mindset, Ray on the board is basically going with the same question I am, which is, you can have that mindset, but we also saw AB with all the confidence in the world as well. We see him shoot a 10 under and then a 9 under, has 2 phenomenal rounds. He has literally not missed a putt inside the circle. He's 8 for 11 from circle 2 going into the final round. He looked unstoppable, and it thought, even your best golf's not going to catch him because he's playing such good golf. So the question really buried in there is, how confident were you in, hey, it's just 3 strokes, I can get past him somehow? Did that seem possible with the way he was playing?
Yeah, no. Honestly, no. I knew I kept up pretty well for the most part. He gained, I think, 2 on me second round, so I was 3 back total, like you said, and then 4 back after hole 1. I'm like, all right, I was like, I gotta just not give up, because who knows what can happen out here. And he shanked again on hole 2, and I was like, here's a chance, got to drive down there, got the upshot up, made the putt. I was like, there's one. I just played the holes. I wasn't really playing anybody. I just knew I had to, first of all, start out hot. I think the first 2 days I was like even through 4, then even through 6. And that's where like all his strokes were gained. I played really well on the back nine, but like if I'm not birdieing the first handful of holes, then I don't have a shot. So I knew that. So I had to lock in and get the first ones and just kind of chipped away little by little. Then hole 4 came along, which helped a lot.
That's a big chip.
Yeah,
right there.
I want to ask about that one. Obviously you're watching him. He gets the rollaways twice. He's going out of bounds twice. Just something that we didn't see all weekend long, because like I said, he was nearly flawless. What's going through your mind as that's happening? Because I feel like there's got to be a million emotions, but what's kind of going through your mind as you're watching this happen to your teammate and friend and the leader?
Yeah. First of all, yeah. I don't know why he switched up his play for going over the top. He gotten 2 easy bars, I believe, maybe even a birdie look once. And as soon as I saw him pull out the cigar and try to go up the middle, I was like, okay, something's going to happen. He hasn't played that shot yet. But I didn't doubt his ability to hit that. I mean, he hits, stuff like that all the time. But as soon as he, threw it a little inside, I heard it hit the tree. I didn't even see it hit the tree, but I heard it. I was like, okay, that's something. That'd be a tough scramble. But again, not out of his, wheelhouse. He throws some of the craziest shots I've ever seen. And then it was unlucky that he hit the tree and rolled OB. And then I don't even know how the second one that went OB, it hit so much bush and all of that up on the hill, and then took off. Like it almost sped up going. So that was just unfortunate. And I really felt for him, because that's happened to me. Like I know exactly how that feels, where you throw the good shots and it rolls away, especially on hole 4. I think that's why I went up the left side, because I was like, I have rolled away. I played that hole 1 time and I've not rolled away. And that was like the second round or something. I don't know. But that hole bites me every time, and I totally feel it for him. So yeah, it was just unfortunate, but it was exactly what I needed. And I had already gained a stroke on 2 and 3. And then that big switch, that putt, didn't even think about laying it up because I mean, it's in my game. If I see it, I run it majority of the time. And I knew that it would be obviously a very clutch putt to make, especially with, I know he was taking a triple. So it was like, okay, you might as well, because if I miss, I'm taking a worse bogey probably, and I'm still gaining 2 strokes, and then we're tied. So it's like, I didn't care.
It's funny. I feel like that's one of your, I don't say endearing qualities, but one of the reasons why a lot of fans tend to root for you is your aggressiveness. Like you're right. If you can see the basket, you're running at it. It doesn't matter. And if you're 60 or 80 out, again, if you're 60 or 80 out, I give you I'm like, what? Yeah. There's like a 1 in 5 chance this guy's hitting this. Honestly, from that distance, it's just you hit more long putts, I think, from strange positions than anybody I've seen on tour the last 2 years. It's really fun to watch, and I think that's one of the reasons, like I said, why a lot of fans really enjoy watching you play.
Along those lines, I agree with all of that. Along those lines, as things then tense up and the dynamic within the group changes up probably just a little bit, and AB is now go from leader to not leading. Did the vibe, for lack of a better word, did the vibe on the card stiffen or change up throughout the round that you could notice or that you could share with us at different points during the round? Or do you guys feel like you're all same people throughout?
I tried to stay the same myself. I can read very well when people want to be talked to and when they don't. Like, I wasn't gonna go up and be chatty Cathy with AB on the tee pad at hole 5, just after all that happened. But it was kind of cool because, first of all, I don't mean to say this to count Ricky or Paul out at any point. I think I said in a different podcast that I would be the biggest idiot in disc golf if I ever thought I was safe from Paul McBeth or Ricky Wysocki. So they were always in the back of my mind. And Paul starting out double and then a bogey, I was like, okay, hopefully I'm safe. But, right. But Ricky was, he wasn't playing bad. He was right there. Missed a couple, shots, but right there. But they kind of, I don't know if they counted themselves out of it by hole 5 or hole, the back 9 or whatever. But they had their own little battle going. Yep. Because Ricky being new to the team, the rivalry that they have already, they're playing for that 2nd, 3rd, 4th place. And there's a lot of pride in that, I think. So like they had their battle going, me and AB had our battle going. And so like things were definitely tense. But I would talk to Paul, I would talk to Ricky, it'll be fine. But like they weren't talking to each other, and then me and AB weren't talking to each other.
You guys are all a bunch of little cliques over there. I see what it is.
Were you able to kind of keep track of the Paul Ricky battle from where you were, or were you so focused on your game and what you were doing that you didn't really like that's cool, those two boys are playing over there, I need to focus on my game?
Yeah, I really just tried to play the course and play myself. I really didn't even try to focus on what AB was doing. I just had a rough estimate of, I knew I was in the lead by a couple shots going into the back 9. But yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to Paul and Ricky. As soon as I felt like they were I was kind of a little bit more comfortable, a lead over them, then I just kind of forgot about them. It was just playing my own game and keeping an eye on AB.
Yeah, and what a wild world, because even as the scorecard just like jumps out at us as we're staring at it right now, and I know I mentioned this, you picked up 7 strokes in 4 holes. And like that is just a phrase that doesn't commonly get said.
Not in the pro division.
In the pro division on the top, that might happen in 93rd and 94th place, but on the top 2 guys, to see 7 strokes go in one guy's favor over 4 holes, it just was the perfect storm, for AB and for you to take advantage. But
just how quick the shift happened is honestly what it is. Like just going from like, all right, I need to really just chip away to suddenly like, no, I just chunked away. Here we are.
Yeah.
Is there anything, you talked about how difficult, we know 16, 17, and 18 play out, nothing is safe. Is there anything on the course, pretend like Paul's not listening, is there anything on the course that you'd love to see changed or tweaked or altered? It could be really major or minor, but is there any adjustments you'd make out there?
Not a ton. I am not a fan of hole 11, but I can't tell you why.
Okay.
It's just like two little weird shots. And I think I got it all 3 rounds.
Sure.
Maybe. Yeah, I got it all 3 rounds. It's just makes me double think, and it's not like the cleanest looking hole.
Okay.
But again, it's fine. Like, I don't know. And then probably some of the branches on hole 9, on the pine trees in the middle, just because they stop a lot of good looking shots that like are hitting the gap, but they like tickle the branch and just get knocked down. Which again, part of the course, you can aim to miss those or whatever. But it would be cool to see a couple more drives get up there, especially when the ones are looking really, really good and hit like the edge of the branch.
Okay.
I really do like the change, or I don't mind the change to hole 13. There were a lot of, I think the par 3, I think it had more stroke separation. I haven't looked at any stats, but it felt like it would have. It was either mostly pars or bogeys, but it was a gimme out on the course, last year. And I like to change to 16.
Do you like where the OB is on 16? Because that's one of the questions, is maybe that OB is almost a little too punishing, or they need to clean out more on the inside. Those are both things that have been thrown around. What's your take on 16?
Yeah, not. I apologize, Nick Carl, but it's not my favorite. We chatted about it for a little while, but it's not bad. Like, I love the course. The course is probably my top 5 favorite courses. So I love the course. And hole 16, I just love the old hole 16 so much, because you actually have to commit to the shot. And if you yanked it right, you're OB. If you leave it short, you're pinched. That's great. I love that. This one, you have to throw like a nose down, through the woods kind of thing. And you can't really feel what the wind is doing down the hill in the open. It's like you could be hit the angle perfect. Oh, and then there's a headwind out there, so like your disc just goes OB. So, and maybe I'm not the best at throwing nose down Anheuser shots through the woods, and that just might be a part of my game that I need to work on. But I think those 3 are 16 and 11. Again, no hate for hole 11. I just feel like it doesn't fit as well. I don't know.
Sure. No.
So talking about the back 9 a little bit, at one point, as I'm watching, suddenly, at this point, it felt like you had it under control. Your brother shows up.
Yeah.
Two-time world champ. Did you, first of all, did you expect that? Did he let you know he was coming? And second of all, were you comfortable with it? Like, was that something you wanted or needed? Because I could understand how, like, you're shooting really well, and now you add a different person into the group. Someone who's going to be with you, talking to you. He's got your ear. He's your brother. So you have your own special relationship. Discuss how that, if at all, changed the card and how you felt about it.
First of all, I can't imagine a different guy that I would rather have with me coming across the finish line of my first victory. I've been there for, how many has he won now? 3 majors, one elite. Every single one I've been there. And so it was a dream of mine to have him there. And we talked about it the night before, that he was going to come out right after his round ended. So like it was all planned and everything. But like you said, I didn't want him to carry my bag at all. I carried my bag. He just was there to talk, and I just ranted. I just talk, just to get everything out of my head, just to not focus on, where I was, what I was shooting, that I was this close taking down my first victory. And so he was just there. He was just an ear. And I would talk about how uncomfortable forehands are for me, especially on 14, having to throw a forehand. I was like, dude, I'm going to hit this tree, this tree, this tree. I could shank it OB. I don't know. I have no idea where this is going to go. And so just stuff like that, just being able to just say what's on my mind and kind of take my mind off the feelings and the pressure that I'm like, oh my goodness, this is actually could happen. And so he was great for that. And then having him there when I made that final putt was just icing on the cake. And it's just so cool to see to be a part of the Robinson brothers legacy, like for real now, because, he's won his 3 majors. He's won an Elite Series, and I am the proudest anybody is for him. But I wanted to be a part of it too, obviously. And now that I've won an Elite Series, I'm like, okay, I'm on the board. We're kind of in this together. You're not going to leave me super far behind.
When you, as you said, the word you use, rant, and then you kind of explained, but are you happy to talk to him about golf or non-golf related things? I mean, does he help take your mind off, and you guys are talking about, where you're getting ice cream later that night too? Or is it mostly a golf conversation when he's there listening?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much while we're on the course, while we're off the course, we're talking about disc golf.
Okay.
So that's just the theme of our lives, I guess. Yeah, just literally anything. I'm trying to remember stuff exactly I said, but I think we were talking about dinner that night or something like that. Or like plans for like next week, or vlog ideas or something. Just anything that pops in my head, just to talk. And he didn't even like I would talk to him, and he would leave me be when I wasn't talking to him. And so and then I would throw it and then just go talk to him, and then just tell him what I needed to do. And I would be like, hey, if I can do this, and that on that hole, then it's fine. And on the first hole he comes up with on 13, I have that putt. It was like 50 feet. I don't know. And I walk up and I'm like, hey, I'm not going to miss this to the right. And he's like, okay. And I missed it so far to the left. I was like, see, I told you I was going to miss it to the right.
I'll show you.
And I wanted to make it, but it was so easy just to, brush it off and just make a joke about it and move on. And he was there for all that. So that was super helpful.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that's the scenario, because obviously, even if you talked about it, having him show up, it, like you said, it changes your personality. It changes your attitude on the card. It can either tense you up or maybe make you too relaxed. Like, oh, great, my brother's here, and then things change because you had been shooting so well and had that lead that I wasn't sure how your interactions. Did you buy dinner that night? Winner buys dinner?
Okay. I buy dinner for 9 people at Texas Roadhouse.
All right, Texas Roadhouse. That's the choice of champions.
We have a bet, or not a bet, but it's like if the purse is over like 10 grand or above, you have to buy dinner.
Oh, and wow.
Yeah, we'll see you at dinner. You made 10 grand, you buy dinner.
Wow, that's a high bar, because it was just the rhyming winner buys dinner. It didn't matter. I mean, granted, usually for us it was like a Burger King, but
or Subway
or Subway. So
I'm playing C tiers, but okay, 10 grand is buying dinner. I ask it almost every guest, especially early victories here. Where will be the splurge? What will be something you'll buy or purchase or do that you probably wouldn't have done without the victory? Where will be there a little splurge of money?
That's a great question. Personally, I'll probably end up getting a new pair of shoes. I like shoes. I like having a fresh pair of kicks. But other than that, I have like a dream house that I want one day. So kind of just saving for that. And having a goal. So really nothing right off the bat besides like maybe a pair of shoes. So if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I as these years have gone on, we hear a lot of very level-headed, responsible responses to that answer. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, oh, I just went and, bought me a Rolex or whatever. But for the most part, we get responsible answers, and just say, there's nothing you're absolutely dying to get and you need to go splurge on. I mean, that means you're you're making some wise decisions, it sounds like.
Right.
The final putt, you're up there, you've got 30, just under 30 feet. I think it was just inside the circle, maybe. It was camera angle was hard to tell. You put it in, you didn't lay it up. You could have, clearly, but not your style in general. And then the flood of your friends, and not just your friends, but the one I happen to notice, Bob Giulio, right there, the guy you just worked with, you just signed with Discraft this offseason. This is a Discraft event. The whole lead card was Discraft. Like, there was a lot of Discraft going on at this event. How was that for you? Like to be able to prove to Bob and the world, like, yeah, I can do this. This is in me.
Yeah. I hate letting people down. And so playing for Discraft, being on the featured card of the first Pro Tour event, and it being Discraft sponsored with other Discraft people, with Bob there, and you know, all that, I was like, oh my goodness, like it'd be awesome to make sure they don't regret their choice and everything and the risk they're taking with me. And that was definitely in the back of my head a little bit. But once I started getting going, it cleared up. But Bob is genuinely, like, the whole Discraft team is just so encouraging, so nice. They've sent me discs. I've had Fresnel, Adam, AB, and Aaron Gossage, Ezra, just send me stuff or just let me try out stuff. Give me some advice. I got to spend the whole month of January and into February down there in New Zealand with Aaron Gossage, learning, just seeing what he bagged, throwing all that. He's just super nice, super caring, and the whole management team, Bob and Mike and Shane, and all the people who work there. I got to go up to the factory and meet everybody, but they're just the nicest people. They want me to succeed. They're going to do everything they can to see that, and they were super supportive. They would send me discs. They would Bob would text me a good bit, just be like, hey, just checking in, you need anything, how everything's going, how you feeling, stuff like that. And it's just like it's something that just really made me feel comfortable. And to be able to get a victory for the team that I just signed with, and to just see his face light up at the end and be like, and he's like, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, that is awesome, because I did not want to let Discraft down. And just all that. And, it is very special being with a new team, being the team tournament, playing with all the team members. It was just so, I couldn't imagine it a better way.
And Steve Dodge asked this question. We had him on right before you, and I'll kind of rephrase it a little bit. Last year, we saw Anthony Barella take this event down. He went on to win four elite events. Yep. Elite events. Mm-hmm. What is your expectation? How many are you going to win, Ezra?
Man, I want to say more. I really do. I think there's a new fire in my bones that I haven't felt before. I haven't experienced this feeling before, and it's addicting. I love it. I would like to feel it again and again and again. But I will not be. I think it's so easy to get satisfied and kind of get lazy in your practice, lazy in the way you look at things. I've already succeeded. I've already got my win. I've already completed my goal for the year. So it's
new goals.
I need to focus up even more, because I cannot be satisfied with that. The year just started. So that's actually, like I said, I need to be out practicing more. I need to be wanting more. Because if I've knocked out my goal already, why not set my goals higher? And there's a ton of good people out there who are just as hungry as I am. So I'm not counting anybody else out, but I know that I can win, and I know that I really enjoy winning. So yeah, I hope to get more, but then again, I'm not going to get too cocky or, too, prideful, and just get down to business, keep my head down. And if more come, then great. If not, then, we got to win, so that's where I'm at.
I mean, the crew that you often roll with and are most closely affiliated and associated with in your brother and Gannon and Gavin and all those guys, Alden, all those guys. Gannon clearly had no problem. Well, he had some problems picking up wins, but not much. It felt like last year. Had such a stellar year. Is there any extra joking or vlog material that comes about now that you've bested him and taken down this first win of the year?
I hope so. We've gotten to celebrate Gannon quite a lot, which is awesome. He's my closest friends, and I again, him and Isaac I love seeing them succeed, and I hope Gavin and Alden get a win and all of that, and we're just one big happy family out there. But yeah, I mean, we always like having the lighthearted jokes and stuff in the skits and in the vlogs, and Alden is kind of the mastermind behind all of that, so I don't know what he has planned, but I'll definitely do my part to squeeze some of that in there.
As you should.
Gannon is now a 2025 zero time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
The guy is, I can't say he's winless, though. He did pick up All-Stars. Rebecca carried him. I mean, we made that very clear on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. One of the, and I'm sure you're not through the tens of thousands of various messages on different platforms, but one of the things that have come about is, the lead card picture after the event, and AB is the only one in that group not smiling. And I'm just going to say it before I ask you, I'm going to say I think people are getting way too hard on him about it personally, but have you seen that feedback, and do you have anything to say to someone that's questioning or giving AB a hard time for not grinning ear to ear after you beat him?
I'm just imagining myself in that scenario, because I've been there a couple times, and it's like, you have a lead and you blew it, or you got beat. That's happened to me. It's not fun. It's not. I mean, you look at Ricky, what Ricky went through at the DGPT Championship last year, when he was like, "I'm here, I'll accept second place, but I'm not happy." I'm not. And why would you be? Why would AB be happy? But I will tell you, AB is genuinely one of my favorite people to play with, and getting to play all 3 rounds with him was just an absolute honor and a blast. And I really admire his game. I admire who he is, how he handles himself on the course. And I would love to, continue our battles, continue our friendship. And, I probably wouldn't be smiling either if I was in his shoes. But he is genuinely one of the nicest and friendliest guys out there that I can play with. So I don't, from my perspective, I don't feel super bad for him, because I got my win, but no hate towards AB at all. I love that dude. He's fantastic. He even was like, "Hey, I got a lot of good discs for you. I can bring you at Waco. That'll make your bag." So he's a real just good guy. And Paul and Ricky, oh my goodness. I mean, I grew up watching them. When I was a teenager, and I was like, I want to do what they're doing one day, and to finally get my win with my 2 role models on the card. It's just insane. And Ricky was very, very genuinely happy for me, and it was so cool. And so was Paul. And it was like, these 2 guys are some of the best to ever do it. And it's like, they see me as a winner now, and they're so nice and so encouraging. And that just, having watched them growing up, that was literally a dream come true for me. And to beat them to do it, it was like, oh my goodness, it's like, doesn't feel real at all.
Yeah, we kind of smirked. I think Dawson and I maybe smirked at each other when you said, you grew up watching them. And that's always kind of funny, because you mean it in the most complimentary way, just as you said it.
How old does it make you and Doss?
Yeah, that's what is kind of the funny part. Is like, wait, is that a little shade too? Like, hey, we're beating up on these old guys, but clearly it's not. It is. I can't imagine the feeling, like you said, that you're going through to have these legends, two of the greatest of all time. Not only did you get past them, but for them to be gracious and genuinely happy. And I think that goes hand in hand with you being so well respected, right? There's other players I feel like that could win and they may not be as happy for, but you're through and through, A, a nice guy, and then B, you're just very much respected for your game on and off the course. And it's not surprising to me to see the love that you got from so many people. It's awesome all around. I mean,
I appreciate that. I'm very honored.
Yeah, it was cool. And a little piece of history for me. I've gotten to see a lot of great golf throughout this, last 30 years. And this will be a moment that I will, always remember as well. I think about when AB cashed for the first time, or Paul Macbeth lost the playoff to win AM Worlds, at the Worlds I was running in 07 or whatever. There's a lot of moments in my disc golf career. So it's cool that this becomes another one of those really incredible moments for you to be able to pick up your win.
I love watching first wins in general. I think it's great. And I'm sure you'll love to watch a second and third win as well. You're not far from Georgia in Florida. The trophy was a decent size. I always think, like, were you able to hand it off to someone to bring it home? Are you going to have to, are you carrying it for the next couple of weeks, just smiling at it in the passenger seat? And what's the deal?
Yeah, buckle it up.
Buckle it up. Yeah, click. Come, let's go, Pillar. So A, what are you doing with the trophy? And then B, let's get into a little bit, talk about like your travel plans and what's going on this year with that.
Yeah. So actually, I went back home on Monday. Yesterday I drove back home. I'm leaving for Waco next Monday. So I got to back with the family, and friends. So I'm leaving the trophy up here. And yeah. So that's where the trophy is. And it's nice to have a week back with the family after being gone, in New Zealand. Really, I only got like half back at home, before I left for Florida. So it's nice. I really wanted an extra week before I head to Waco to chill and see them and celebrate with them, honestly.
Were you at all tempted to play in the C tier that they had yesterday? You didn't want to stick around and play the flex start that they had? That would have been so funny to show up and smash everyone again. Like,
oh no, I probably would have lost.
I'm taking this one too. So as Johnny was just asking, what tour plans are you rolling solo? Are you caravanning? What's kind of the season look like for you?
Yeah, just rolling solo. But I am staying with, I guess, driving solo, rolling solo for me, but staying with Alden, Gavin, Gannon, and Sully, Sullivan-Tipton. I believe. So we'll all be a nice little happy family out there and get the vlogs going and all that. And I think that's all year. So
awesome. Have you? Quick side note: Sully made an announcement that he basically withdrew. Thursday or Friday, the day before the event, wanted to preserve something with his back, I believe he said. Have you had any talks with him? And do you know of any updates, how he's doing?
I don't, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, I knew he was a little hurt before, and he said he might not play. But I don't think it was too bad. I think I know he's planning on going to Waco.
Okay.
So I think he'll be all good for that. Hopefully. But yeah, that's all I know.
Will you go back, or have you already? I know it's only Tuesday. Will you go back and watch any of the live broadcast or any of the Jomez, or what, when and how many times, or what will you consume and what will you be looking for?
That's a long drive to Waco. It's just on repeat, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did, Sunday night, I did rewatch all the coverage.
Okay, there's no shame in that. Yeah, I mean, this is a career moment for you, and there's no shame in that.
And it's cool to get a different perspective, like to look at it from the outside.
Exactly. I wanted to hear what you guys were saying in the booth, and like what I did compared to what you guys were telling me to do that I couldn't hear. And it was funny on 15. I think he was like, I think Doss was saying, just throw a mid in the middle mid up the gun, mid to the basket, take a birdie. I go 20 feet off the tee, 13 speed, second shot, and go for the eagle. And so it was like, in my mind, that's, the thing to do. And that's again my game. I don't let up. Like if I let up, I get lazy and make mistakes. And then same thing with 17. I was stuck behind the tree, shanked the tee shot, and he's like, "It's okay to take a bogey. Just take a bogey and get out of here." I'm like, "I'm saving par. I'm not taking a bogey." So it was cool to see what you guys were saying and advising after the fact.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously very different when we're sitting in the chairs and not that we don't necessarily know what we're talking about. Sometimes we don't, but just what seems most plausible. But when you have a different confidence and a different mindset in there, and what I'll say about 13, coincidentally enough, once you put yourself up there, you were even closer than I realized on your second shot.
13 or 15?
15. Thank you. Yeah. On 15. Mm-hmm. You made the putt at the OTB after show. I think I said that putt for eagle was my shot of the day contender because I like what that did. You followed AB. AB just hit a great putt. You were a little bit closer, but you followed up with an eagle of your own, not losing anything on the longest hole in the course because you also eagled. To me, that was like just, I don't know if it was pivotal, but it was definitely, as Doss would say, like a statement. And so it's funny you say that about 15, because that's how passionate, like that's how excited I was about you getting that eagle as well. Like you didn't give up anything.
No, and I know with 16, 17, and 18, like Calvin right ahead of us took a triple on 17. That's not that I can easily do that or worse. That's not something that I'm immune to. And then 16, if I don't hit the gap or kick OB or whatever, it's a nightmare. It really is. So it's like I could lose 7 strokes in those 2 holes or 3 holes going down the stretch. So I knew that if I could, AB had the momentum. He drained a putt from a bush I couldn't even see over.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
I would have had to like do something. I don't have that because I'm short. So it's like,
what's that like?
And all the momentum in AB's hands right there. And I was like, I can't let him have that. If he has that, there's no telling what's going to happen. If I show any fear, if I lay up my putt or yank it right or something, if I show any mishap in my game, then he's going to sneak right in because that's what he does. That's what the top level pros do. They see any weakness, they go for the kill. And so having that putt drop, I was like, okay, you just made a 60-footer, whatever, around the 8-foot tall bush. It's like, yeah, you're not getting anything. And so that really helped my confidence going to the last 3 holes too.
Awesome. Well, Stan on the board asked a question that's kind of in line with what I was going to go with. He said, are you watching scores every hole? So think about that. And then I'll follow it up and say, well, you guys were walking down 15, the hole we were just talking about, and you're setting up for eagle. I heard on the broadcast Macbeth talking about what had just happened to Kelvin and what's going on with Kelvin and some of the other players on the chase card. Kelvin was obviously shooting an insane score, and Macbeth is verbalizing it. I could see that maybe being annoying, possibly, to some players, not wanting to know what anyone else is really doing. So A, do you look at scores? And B, do you care that you're getting updates from other cards?
I don't normally look at scores. I looked at, okay. On the final round, I did not look at scores. I had a general idea of where I was because I keep pretty good track in my head of the people closest to me and all that. I did check on 16. I was like, okay, how many strokes do I actually have? Because this could get dicey. I did double check there. And hearing what Calvin's doing, honestly, I don't know. I don't know people's mindsets. I don't know Ricky, Paul's, or AB's mindset. If I'm 6 strokes ahead, 6 strokes ahead going into, or it was 4 or 5. I don't know. I think I got 2 more on 16. I was like at least 4 strokes ahead going into hole 15. I don't know if AB is thinking, oh, I've lost. At what point is he thinking I'm out of it? I never thought he was. But at what point is he more annoyed that he's hearing that Calvin's shredding because he's catching him? So it didn't bother me. I didn't know where Calvin stood or anything, and I look at the score, or he was only 4 back too, and so it was like, I'm glad. I mean, no offense to Calvin, but it was a lot less stressful when I found that out that he tripled 7. I mean, I didn't mind. But,
Didn't mind.
Him, but
Yeah.
I was fine with it. And the more people on other people, not me, the less pressure I have. You talk about anybody, anytime. I'll just quietly do what I need to do.
Okay.
Ezra's back there like, oh, did you see so-and-so? Did you see how he's playing back there? Jake Mon, yeah, he's had great weekend.
Let's divert attention elsewhere. Yeah,
anywhere but you.
Again, big moment, for you, be on the team and, right away get this win. Is there, share what you will about your contract. Does your contract have consistency in mind? Does it heavily reward wins? Like how are things kind of structured for you?
Yeah, I think it's really just solid all the way around.
Okay.
I get a good bonus if I win. If I don't, it's pretty just solid. I think it's the same contract for 2 years, which is I'm very happy with. But yeah, so I'm very pleased with it, and they're so easy to work with. Everybody's so friendly. I can reach out any day, anytime, just ask for something. They're like, "Oh yeah, I can ship that to you the next day," or something like that. And it's just so easy to work with. No complaints from me at all. It has genuinely been the most simple, best thing that I could ask for the start of the season.
Good.
So are we going to see any sort of commemorative first win disc? Are we going to see a Discraft? I'll pull it up here on the screen. We can see some of the Ezra discs right now. The Peach Pirate, as people are calling you. These are the Discraft discs that you can purchase right now. Are we going to see anything special for this first win?
Yeah, I was actually talking about it today. I don't know if I can announce it yet. We're in the works, though.
Okay.
It is definitely in the works. So, definitely be on the lookout for that. And as soon as I get more information and we get it finalized, I'll probably be posting about it. Discraft will be posting about it and all of that. So, but definitely planning something.
As of right now, as asked on the board, you can get what Johnny was just showing: ESP Force, ESP Onyx, ESP Undertaker, and ESP Buzz were the ones that we were just showing. So we'll see what gets added when it comes to the commemorative stuff as well. But that's what's currently listed out here on teamdiscraft.com. They don't pay us for that, but they're good to us. We appreciate it.
They will. All right, I have to ask, and maybe you've been asked this already. Peach Pirate.
Yes.
Like, you know how that looks with an emoji, right?
Oh, I 100% know.
Okay, just making sure. I assumed you did. If you hadn't by now, I mean, I would be shocked, but okay. We'll leave it at that.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. I can even explain it if that would help any.
Sure, go for it.
Isaac calls me the butt pirate all the time.
Okay.
So, which is very cheeky of him. So,
Hail.
Oh, now you're getting into Terry territory here with
the puns. Let's be clear here.
No, I was gonna leave it just hang there.
Okay, go on. No,
the buns. Yeah, this is going perfectly, swimmingly.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia Peach. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Peach State, hometown, home state, and then the pirate theme. I love pirates. I have a couple pirate tattoos and all of that. So. And I love the ocean. But that's the stamp. And I'm just glad it's not a logo or like people's initials. I really want to stand out as my own on the team. They're sick. Love them. But especially having another Ezra, like you can't really do much. So we decided to go with a new logo, and we can play off it too. It can be a serious one. It could be a little goofy cartoon or whatever. It's very wide opportunities with it. So
yeah, I agree. I love it. Obviously, that's been the trend, and there's some really good ones out there, and there's some meh ones out there in terms of the 2 letters, to make up the logos these days. So the fact that, like you said, you want to go with something a little more original or a little bit more unique, so to speak. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite logo that's not yours?
Okay.
Ooh.
What player do you look at and go like, God, that's really cool. I really love that.
Honestly, Isaac's logo is pretty sick.
I saw you wearing the Isaac hat. You were wearing his hat on the final day.
I was. Yeah. And so that logo is sick. And then his new stamp, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's like the cloaked bowman, which is cool.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, that one's really cool. Ricky's little raptor one is cool. The R, I didn't understand what that was. And I heard a lot of things about that one too. But once they explained it to me, okay, that kind of makes a little bit more sense. But like the little shield raptor is really cool. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of them out there. I'm drawing a blank on my favorites, but Isaac's and Ricky's are really, really awesome.
Yeah, I think I even called you out in a good way as to, was it the All-Stars or was it after day one of competition? You were wearing one color of Isaac's hat, and then by the time it was either interviews or it was after the round, you had switched to another color of his hat. Like, you're getting the branding out there, and making sure everybody sees what's all available. That was by design. You did that, right?
Well, I hate to burst the bubble here, but that was actually the same hat.
Really?
If the camera or the lighting was different out there on the course. But it was a new hat. Yeah, he's very stingy with his hat, so he only gave me one. So he said I have to pay for the rest.
Okay. Hopefully, does he have a code?
Brother's got to eat. All that guy does is win worlds. He doesn't win majors anymore, or Elite Series. He's got to wait all the way until August to win another event. Jesus.
Yeah, maybe I can ask like Isaac 10% off or something.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll test my luck. It's not looking good. So.
I love it. All right. We've talked about goals. You're going to have to reset and continue to reset your bar for this year. Maybe that's not even the right question. I was going to say, what makes for a successful season? You've clearly already achieved something big. Can you promise this? How about this? Can you promise that you or your brother will win worlds? Is that a fair promise? That one of the two of you will win the world?
Got a good chance.
I want to promise you that with my whole heart. I really, the odds are in Isaac's favor right now, for sure. And I would not back down. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind me taking it down. We do have a higher percentage chance than other people because there's two of us, so we do have a little bit of the odds. But hopefully, I know my dad's gonna fly out and caddy for Isaac again.
Okay.
That'd be cool. And then I think my younger brother Nathan's flying out to caddy for me. So we'll have some of the family.
That is awesome, and just the fact that you'll both be there. You'll both have some wins under your belt, and you'll be able to see what you can do on the world stage over there.
Well, it'd be great to see the whole Robinson crew on the lead card. Like how many are there's like 6 of them on this card? What's going on?
Is there anything? I'll say anything that either we got massively wrong this weekend, or anything that wasn't asked or shared from this weekend that, I know you've had plenty of interviews and everything else, but has there been anything now? We'll leave the door wide open. Is there anything else that you'd like to share or discuss or bring up or clarify or dismiss? Anything else out there?
Um, Not off the top of my head. I do want to just. I've learned a lot of the behind the scenes of all the people who help out with the Disc Golf Pro Tour, all the people, all the camera crews, all the networks, all the Joe Mez guys, all the pro shop people, all the just people who really do the behind the scenes stuff. For me, my job is simple. I get up, make my tea time, hopefully, and go do what I love. But there are people who allow me to do that. And I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to everybody involved with that who can literally make my 12-year-old dreams come true. Because I wouldn't be here without them. We wouldn't have tournaments without them, without Jeff Spring, without everybody behind the scenes. And you guys don't know how much that means to me to be able to have this dream come true for me. And it's all because of them. So I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody filming, everybody doing all of that, because that's how we grow. That's how we are, the players are who they are, is because of them. So huge shout out to them.
I was just gonna say it's incredibly gracious of you, because you're right. There's so many people out on the tour week in and week out just grinding, and it's easy for them to get talked down upon, and or somebody gets frustrated, or a complaint to get thrown around because something's not perfect, from a viewer or from a player perspective. But everything you just said, so incredibly gracious and kind of you to recognize all those people out there. Johnny and I feel the exact same about everyone out there week in and week out, trying to provide those opportunities, as you're saying. Well, before we let you go, then, in kind of that same light, sponsors, ways people can follow and support you, shout out all those things. We want to make sure the world knows how they can follow you and support you.
Yeah. First, Discraft been fantastic. You can find all those discs, and I think we got some jerseys dropping pretty quick on the Team Discraft site, or the disc golf stuff. Yeah, you pulled it up. And then we got, I always forget. I'm terrible at remembering. We got Dirty Birdie, we got Backstage Organics, we got Squatch, who makes the absolute best bags ever. Awesome. We have Discraft.
Your shoes?
Discrafter. They make some fantastic towels, and the thing cleans the disc really well. I'm missing somebody.
Shoes.
We're in talks.
Okay.
With a sponsor. So I'm not allowed to officially say anything about that yet.
Okay.
I'm absolutely terrible if I'm forgetting. I know I have 6. How many did I say?
The one that's on your shirt?
Yeah. Backstage Organic.
The people on your shirt.
Hey,
look at your shirt.
Well, foundation. Yeah. I was like, Terry, I don't have one of my shirts with me. I don't know what you're talking about. Foundation. All the milk led me to a victory. That's it. Foundation. Yeah, I'm really wearing that. Okay. Yeah. I'm a fan.
We're good at this. We know what's up. Don't worry. We'll help you out.
We're here to help when we can.
Yes. I appreciate that.
All right, Ezra. Again, you're a player favorite among the players. You clearly continue to gain a ton of fans as well. Obviously, making a lot of sponsors happy on top of it. You were, even without a win, I think you're making them happy, but extra happy. And we just couldn't be happier for you and more proud of everything you and your brother and what you've both done. But then for you to take yet another level up in your career this last weekend, certainly well deserved. Everybody was waiting for it, and you delivered early already in the season. Now let's see if you can continue to deliver often, as I think plenty of people would love to see. So thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a busy guy, especially with everything going on, but thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. I've really enjoyed being here.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Take care.
Ezra.
Have a good night. We'll see you in Waco.
Sounds
good
good.
Luck. Ezra Robinson.
Stand-up dude, I hear. Just real solid. Nice guy.
Because we've interviewed and talked to his brother a number of times.
We've talked to him before as well.
Exactly, but you can tell. Great family, great human, great people that they roll with, and if they say you are the company you keep, I don't know if I need to get rid of you or not. No, I'm just kidding. You're still here. You're still here.
Mm.
But
I do a good job.
I control the camera. Can I get rid of your picture? Hold on.